Welcome to Global Truth Center, Toronto, and this is our Wednesday celebration of love. We're grateful you're here. We've got a lot of inspiration for you, so let's begin with Pierre.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens where no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you just got to ignite the light and let it shine just on the night, like the 1st of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth. Make them go, oh, 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 as you shoot across the sky. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make them go, oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave them falling down. You don't have to feel like a waste of space. You're original, you cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds, after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe the reasons why all the doors are closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow. When it's time, you'll know you just got to ignite the light and let it shine just on the night, like the 1st of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth. Make them go, oh, 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 as you shoot across the sky. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make them go, oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave them falling down. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. It's always been inside of you, you. And now it's time to let it through. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth. Make them go, oh, 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 as you shoot across the sky. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make them go, oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave them falling down. Baby, you're a firework.
Thank you, Pierre. What a fun way to start our service. Well, my name is Reverend Dale Olansky, and I am your guest minister today. Reverend Fred is elsewhere, so it's an honor for me to be here in this beautiful space of love and inspiration. So before we launch into our service, I'm going to go ahead and just pull us into a little prayer. And so I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you, and just relax wherever you are. And so I'm filled with gratitude to open up this space with a loving heart that is just filled with wonder, knowing that there is only energy within all life, within all beings. And that energy is spirit, that energy is love, that energy is light, that energy is the unlimited potential that all of us have to pull into our experience here, our greatest good, our greatest vision. And so as we come together tonight in spiritual community, I just know that our hearts are being ignited so that we can see more clearly that which is possible for us to do to create a happy, joyful, healthy, prosperous, loving life. And so as we relax into this evening, I just know that we are all hearing something that we take away with us, that inspires us, that reminds us who we are and the power that we have to create our greatest life. And so knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly in this moment, in every moment, I'm grateful just to be a part of this uplift and this expansion. And so I just let go, knowing that we are ready. We are ready to remember who we are, to love only, to forgive everything, and to be those wonderful, magnificent expressions of God that we all are. And so I just step out of the way and allow this evening to unfold with grace and ease. And so it is. And so now it is my great honor to turn over the microphone to Nick Michelli, our practitioner for the day, who's going to guide us on a spectacular meditation.
Welcome, everybody, to the guided meditation tonight. I'm Nick Michelli, a certified spiritual practitioner here at Global Truth Center, Toronto. And our theme for this month is awakening. Now, I invite everyone to release any thoughts that you've been carrying around with you. Just be present in this moment. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. I invite you to pay attention to your breathing without changing anything. Just relax. Let the breath fall in. Easily, with no effort. Be aware of the energy around you and within you. And keep in mind that all of us share the same energy. All of us draw our life from the one universal source. The universal source is perfect, infinitely creative, and loving. I call the origin God, Spirit, universal mind, the quantum field. Whatever name I give it, it is always coming into existence, providing us with abundance. Abundance is the truth of universal mind. And dynamic vitality, the capacity to create. Universal mind is my truth. Universal love is my truth. As I open up to all the possibilities, I awaken to all the possibilities that are available to me. In the universal mind, there is nothing but potential, and potential comes into my experience according to where I put my attention, my intention. And just as I bring my intention to universal law, so does everyone else. And together we are co-creating a world for everyone. And now I'd like to offer an original poem. This came to me following a dream a number of years ago. I titled it Unique in My Kind. Creating from oneness, unique in my kind, a bright shining beacon from infinite mind. Loving abundance, it calls itself me, the infinite storehouse to do, have, or be. My road in the wilderness, ripe and untamed, explosive emotion from passions unnamed. From dark, soulful chaos, one truth do I know. My true inner calling carries me in the flow into the temple of Spirit's true form. Abundance, joy, beauty, this is my norm. Down the steps of the infinite, out to the street, loving perfection in all who I meet. My freedom, my choice, this is blessing indeed. Crafted perfection, my wish meets my need. In perfect creation, I'm the jewel in the crown. Bright and integral, glory abounds. In a forest of God lights, we're equal and free. A vast river of power to an infinite sea. The tide of humanity reaching new height. We all make the big picture, all our gifts shining bright. And that's my offering on the theme of awakening. And now I invite everyone to think about life and vitality. There's an infinite flow of life. I see it all around me. I see it in nature. I see the abundant vitality of universal mind in everyone I reach, in everyone I meet. I am constantly becoming the best version of myself. And this is my definition of good health. And whatever experience I'm having, I know that this abundance, this vitality is mine. Life and vitality can mean many different things to many people. And I give gratitude for the abundant vitality that is all around me, that is me. And I invite everyone to think about health and vitality in their own way. And conjure up that image. And I invite everyone to continue to breathe deeply and fully. The universal mind is abundant. All the blessing, everything that I can imagine is there in abundance. I open up in faith and welcome that abundance into my life. And I give gratitude for all that Universal Mind has to offer to me and to humanity. Abundance can mean any number of things to each of us, and I invite everyone to think about abundance and welcome it into your experience in whatever way feels right to you. I invite everyone to continue to breathe deeply and fully. Universal Mind is love. Love is the truth of my existence, and I bring that love to all relationships. All of the fantastic network of relationships that I am a part of. And I'm free to see the perfection of everyone I encounter. I bring perfect self-love. And in that spirit, I'm free to recognize my perfection, loving myself freely. Love and relationship are varied and diverse, different for everyone. I'm grateful for all the diversity of relationships that I have, and I invite everyone to think about their relationships and think about them in the light of universal love. And I invite everyone to continue to breathe deeply and fully. Universal Mind is creative, and I am creative. And how my creativity appears in the world is unique for me. Everyone has this creative potential. I see it all around me. And I welcome it and recognize it. I follow my heart on my life path, and I recognize everyone else doing the same. Creativity can mean many things to many different people. I'm grateful for my creative gifts. I invite everyone to think about their own creativity in whatever way is meaningful. And I invite everyone to continue to breathe deeply and fully. I recognize the vast spectrum of possibility. And I'm grateful to be in a universe of unlimited choice. Choice defined by my faith. Just as each of us creates in our own way, each of us gives gratitude in our own way. And I invite everyone to give gratitude for whatever bounty, whatever blessing is present. And now I go forward in my life. My life is a masterpiece, and I continue to create it in my way. My word is the law, and I release my word as law. And I invite everyone to join me in saying, and so it is. And now I invite everyone to open your eyes, and let's return to the rest of the service this evening. Namaste.
I wanna sing a love song. The world can sing along. I wanna sing a love song about a world where we all belong. I love you. I do. It's true. If everybody sang a love song, if everybody sang a love song, what could it do? It would wash away the hate, let in a little faith, and maybe shift a fearful point of view. I wanna sing a love song. The world can sing along. I wanna sing a love song about a world where we all belong. I love you. I do. I love you. It's true.
Thank you, Pierre. What a beautiful song to follow an amazing meditation. Thank you, Nick, as well. So, Nick, this is our time to have a little conversation about our monthly theme, which is
awakening.
Awakening. Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, Nick and I are in a classroom, his ministerial class, and I get to be a teaching assistant. So I have the honor and the privilege of watching Nick expand his consciousness and really becoming a minister, which is, I know you're going to be extraordinary. So it's nice to be in this conversation with you, Nick. You're a very brilliant person. So our first question for today is, what does the theme awakening mean to you where you are right now in your life? Because I know we're always changing, but at this moment, what does awakening mean to you?
That's actually turned out to be a difficult question for me. It seems to me awakening is being my best self. It's um, it's remembering everything I know and going back to that. This week I had to help a friend who was in quite a bit of distress. I listened to what she was saying to me, but I wasn't quite sure what the deep meaning of it was. I just stayed there with her, listened to her, and tried to be as encouraging as I could. And I thought um, that was um, the awakened way to approach it. And when it got stressful, I used my own stress management techniques to bring myself down.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's so important to be aware and awake. Whenever I teach people anything about spirituality, they want to know all these different things. And I say it starts with awareness and awakening to who you are and to your possibilities. And so this is such an extraordinary theme for this month, especially with just what's going on inside of ourselves and our world, the ever-changing nature of life. So what are some of the ways that you know you are living an awakened life? Like what do you, when you're awakened, what's your little signal to yourself that says, yeah, I am wide awake?
Well, I when I went through my process of awakening for about 40 years, I think it may have begun that early or before that. But I always um, I always had a quirky way of thinking about things and putting ideas together that many people wouldn't have noticed. And I feel like that's me. And when I'm doing that, that's a good sign. That shows that that I'm in my good form.
You bring up a really good point about that, because I think a lot of us, we fall asleep because we doubt ourselves or we don't have the confidence to be who we are. And when we awaken to that I love to call it the divine urge, that unique energy and expression of life that we are, when we really awaken to it and live into it, we're creative and we're expansive and we're joyful because we're really living in congruency with our divine nature, rather than living in a place where we're being told what to do or what we think we're supposed to do. So awakening to our divine essence is so powerful. I mean, you just spoke to that. How do you, when you teach people, because you work with people, do you see that they fall asleep to themselves, to their own power?
Um, I don't like to say it quite like that because it makes me superior, and I certainly don't feel that way at all. But I do. One of my callings, as far as I'm concerned, my self-chosen calling, is to get the word out how powerful you are.
That's a great way to do that. That's a great way to do that. Well, you're in ministerial training. I'm sure there's a lot of awakenings that you've been experiencing on your journey. What are a couple of things you've realized since starting class? What have you awakened to about yourself or your potential? Anything new that's arisen that you never thought about your journey of becoming this spiritual leader?
In terms of my potential, um, and we had a conversation about this before the service. I'm a professional storyteller, and I'm also a practitioner and ministry student, and I want to bring those two worlds together. That's become just a bug in my mind, something that I can pursue, um, and I I think also part of ministerial training has been to make me really aware of the dark side of my psyche and really come to grips with that and affirm it and heal it as best I can. Because I think that's part of awakening too. getting used to every part of me. And I wanted to offer an affirmation I made up quite a number of years ago, and I've offered it to many different groups. It goes, I love everything about myself. I love my light and I love my darkness.
That's healthy. That's a healthy affirmation. Yeah. I love that you're open to that and teaching people to love all aspects of themselves, because I think it allows us to live a more whole life. And the truth is, like what you just said, we have so many, everybody has so many aspects of themselves, call it light, call it dark. We're all made up of the same stuff and have the same things that are part of our being in this human experience. So I think it is great to embrace it all and to love it all and not judge it, because it's all part of our experience and our growth and our expansion. So you're giving the world a beautiful affirmation, and I thank you for that. That was lovely, really very lovely. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Nick, is there anything else you'd like to add about awakening that we haven't touched on?
This might be an obvious point, but it's ongoing. I'm always learning about myself, and getting to know this fellow who walks around inside my skin, and getting a deeper appreciation of myself.
Excellent point. We are always right. It is a continual awakening. We keep waking up and waking up and waking up, and we're all doing it together. So it's beautiful. Thank you. So Nick, would you like to read our affirmation for the month?
I am awakened to my deepest desires. And now I invite everyone to join with me. I am awakened to my deepest desires.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for the wonderful conversation. Appreciate you and what you're bringing into our world. It's just wonderful.
Yes, it was great. And it's great to see you here, joining us in Toronto.
Thank you. It's fun. Thank you. Well, I love this group. I love this community. It's been really fun for me to be being a guest speaker with all of you here. And before we started our service, we were talking about a lot of people are going through some struggles right now. And something that is a big part of what we do here at Global Truth Center Toronto and all other spiritual centers is we're here to awaken you to possibilities of moving out of struggle and into thriving in your life. And with the holiday season, there's a lot of that, I know. But what's really interesting to me is the two biggest holidays. We've got Hanukkah and Christmas. The two biggest holidays that we celebrate at this time are all about moving from darkness and into light. I happen to have been raised in the Jewish tradition. And something that I love to do every December is to talk about the Hanukkah story, because it really is a story of all of us. It's not just about the Jewish people. It's a story that has a universal essence of what we are all about, what the nature of who we are is, and our potential to be able to move beyond the world of conditions that are adverse and find that ray of hope and light inside of ourselves that allows us to break free and create a better life. Just to give you a brief Reader's Digest version of the Hanukkah story for those of you who don't know. Basically, the story goes like this. The Jewish people were overtaken by a Greek Syrian military political group, and their temple was overrun, and all of their sacred objects were absolutely destroyed because this political group, was into a type of religion where there were lots of gods, and the Jewish people were into one God. And so the Jewish people were getting pretty tired of being oppressed, but they really didn't have an organized army to be able to overtake the Greek Syrians. And so word got around that there was this little mighty tribe of brothers that was led by Judah Maccabee, and they were pretty powerful, yet they were also kind of their own haphazardly organized group. But the Jewish people went to them and said, we got to take our temple back. And so Judah Maccabee and his tribe of military misfits stormed the group and were able to retake the temple. And the miracle of the Jewish story of Hanukkah is that when the temple was destroyed, they only had enough oil to burn for one night. But what actually ended up happening is the oil lasted for 8 nights, and that's the miracle of the light. So for me, this is a story about when we are thinking that we're not capable of having our power and being able to surmount and be victorious over adverse circumstances. The Jewish people were up against a huge army that was well organized. They were conquering everybody, but they were able, with the power of their spiritual knowing, because they knew they were the people of God. So that knowing and that faith allowed them to have that ability to take over that group and get their temple back. And so it teaches us our own power, that within us, when we are spiritually aligned consciously with that power, when we know who we are, there's nothing that we can't do. And one of the beautiful aspects of this story of Hanukkah to me is that this idea of rededicating the temple, because that's what Hanukkah means, is rededication. Symbolically, the temple was overtaken by a religious ideology that believed in many, many gods, whereas the Jewish tradition of one God and that God is within, something that we teach here, that God is who we are, to reclaim the truth of who we are as being one as God. And so this story of Hanukkah is so relevant to us today when we're feeling like that life has just gotten the best of us and we're not able to thrive and we're in doubt and we're losing our confidence. When we go back to that place that Pierre sang in his song, and I'm so glad he sang that song because it goes perfectly with my talk. When you find that you are that firework to ignite that light inside of yourself, that spiritual knowing that you and I and all beings live in possibility, that everywhere that we are is this God energy, that when we trust in it, when we activate it, when we direct it into our greatest life, that's what manifests in the world. It's just all about quantum physics. Joe Dispenza teaches this. If you have this elevated feeling state, this state of knowing and complete conviction, when you have that paired with an intention that you want a life where you're thriving, where you're able to have enough income so that all your needs are met and then some, so that you're healthy and well, that your relationships are wonderful, that all aspects of life are just operating at such an optimum level. When we set that intention with such a strong knowing, the universe brings it into our physical reality. So the work for us is to find that light again. And we can do it by prayer. We can do it by meditation. We can do it by being a part of a spiritual community where we're reminded about who we are. And there's the main point, though. We've got to remind ourselves of who we are. And that's why awakening is such an important theme for us this month, because we can forget who we are. We can fall asleep to that dynamic, infinite power, that omniscience, that omnipresence, that omnipotence that we all are. When we fall asleep to that, we're not operating at our full potential and capacity. But when we can find that light and ignite it and build it and expand it, then we are operating at our full potential, because that's really who we are. We are meant to live fully and completely empowered. And so when our circumstances show us a different reality, we start by remembering who we are, and then we build our strength and we build that inner power. And then we can start to bring forward a greater truth, a greater reality into our life experiences. We do have an invincibility inside of ourselves. And so to turn within to that invincible power is to bring ourselves back to life, to awaken ourselves. Now, this whole season of Christmas and Hanukkah is really all about what we call miracles, right? We've got the miracle of Hanukkah that I just spoke about, this miracle of the oil lasting way longer than they expected. In Christmas, it's just riddled with miracles, right? The miracle of the virgin birth and the miracle of Jesus coming into this world to be a light, to teach people about their spiritual power, to remind them of who we are. That's really all it's about. It's that simple. We make it very complicated, but really the miracle is just about remembering who we are and the importance of living our lives spiritually awake, awakening to our spiritual truth, awakening to our spiritual power. When we're doing that and living in that, we are operating on all cylinders. I believe that a lot of the issues we have in our world today within ourselves and in humanity is we've just lost our spirituality. You know, a lot of it is because of religion is just not meeting people's spiritual needs anymore. And so there's nothing for them to get that spiritual nourishment. And so if we all started bringing ourselves back to life for whatever it is that sings to us spiritually. And Pierre, he sang that beautiful song that talked about if we all like sang a love song, how beautiful would that be if we all sang a love song to ourselves and to each other? This world would change for the better. Putting all that love energy out there, that kindness, that compassion. You know, we are all energy, like Nick spoke about in his meditation. We are all energy and we're interconnected. There is no such thing as separation. It is only oneness, and we're all connecting and we're all influencing each other. So if we start influencing each other by bringing in the love, bringing in the compassion, bringing in the kindness, supporting each other, letting go of judgment, and being in that higher frequency, that higher consciousness where we see each other as one, as the Christmas story teaches us. You know, it's all about just loving each other. If we can up our game and live there, God, there's no stopping us in creating a better world for everybody. And so the miracle really isn't about some outside entity bringing forward something that we never thought was possible. The miracle is for us, for all of us, to be able to see that what we thought was not possible is extremely possible. Anything is possible. That's the miracle. When we finally demonstrate what we thought we weren't able to demonstrate, that's simply what a miracle is. When the 5-minute mile was broken in 1954, everybody thought it was impossible. Nobody's going to be able to beat that. But then somebody did. It was a miracle, right? And then all of a sudden, everybody else was able to achieve it. So when we start believing that it's possible for us to change our life circumstance, that it's possible for us just by praying or meditating or holding ourselves in love, just doing these simple steps of spiritual acknowledgement of who we are. When we start there, the miracles open up for us because we're opening up to a field of infinite possibility and potentiality for us to shift our life. There is no such thing as lack or limitation. That's a mind thing. That's a belief. There is plenty of resources for us to live an abundant life. And when we start believing in that, we can start demonstrating that in our life experience. So it really comes down to faith and trust. Do you trust in who you are? Do you trust that we live in a field of infinite good and that you can bring that good into your life, pressed down and overflowing? We are all very powerful beings, and it's time for us to awaken to our spiritual power. Our spiritual power is the key to creating a better life for us. No matter what's going on in our life experiences, we can change anything. Anything is possible. We don't have to figure out the how at all. Let the universal mind bring that into form for you. All you have to do is believe it is possible and hold that feeling state and let this universal energy bring it into form into your life. We can all do that. We can all do that individually and collectively, because you know what? It is all about love and remembering who we are, and remembering how powerful, how valuable, how wonderful you are. And that no matter your past, every moment is an opportunity to start fresh, because all power and all possibility exists in every single moment. So reach out and reach into your heart and find that power, find your fire, be the firecracker. Allow yourself to create a better life for yourself just by knowing the spiritual truth of who you are. It is there for you. Dive in and just feel the energy shifting when you believe in who you are. Well, I want to thank you for listening to my words of wisdom today. And I just encourage you to find that special spark of life that you are, because we've all got it. So live it today and watch the extraordinary manifest in your life. Namaste. So I would like to take this opportunity right now to invite you to financially contribute to this beautiful spiritual center. You know, money is just energy in motion. It's one of many forms of energy that we circulate throughout our world. And it's so important for us to always be circulating. It's important for our bodies, and it's also important for our love, and it's important for our financial prosperity. And so when we're giving where we're spiritually fed, it comes back to us, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing. And so I would like to thank you on behalf of the center for anything that's on your heart to contribute today. And it doesn't matter what the denomination is, anything you can give is greatly appreciated. So as we circulate our financial prosperity into the universe, we thank you with an open heart. You can donate by going to Global Truth Center Toronto to the website, or you can send an e-transfer to info@globaltruthcentertoronto.com. So I just want to thank you in advance for your gifts, for your tithes, and for your support, because I know that this center is growing and you help us do that. I want to let you know that my class is getting ready to complete itself. We have one more class, and I just loved the experience with the students that joined us. We have another class that will begin on January 3rd, and it's taught by one of my cohorts, one of my ministers where I serve, Dr. Lori Savage, and it's a class called The Mystical Universe. And she's just got an incredible consciousness, and she's a fun teacher, and she's really going to be practically applying the principles of science of mind through her class. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up through Global Truth Center Toronto. There's instructions there on how you can do that. I also want to thank everybody who was a part of this service today. I want to thank Pierre. You were extraordinary as always. Beautiful music, and your energy is just a joy to bask in. So I want to thank you. Your music was perfect for everything that we talked about today. So thank you for that. I want to thank our practitioner, Carrie Garnier, who is such a lovely person. I've just so enjoyed meeting her. She runs the background. She runs us, and she runs the Zoom room and all of the interfacing. So thank you, Carrie. I also want to thank Nick Michelli, our wonderful practitioner of the day, for an amazing, your meditation was so amazing. I had to be careful because I thought I was just going to go into another universe. So it was so deep and just profound. So thank you. And thank you for the conversation as well. And I want to thank all of you out there, because you're an important part of our community and this experience. And I thank you for your consciousness, for who you are, for being the magnificent spiritual beings that you are, and just doing the good work that you're doing this world just by being the love. So I want to thank all of you. Also, one last thing, I want to thank Reverend Fred for being the spiritual leader of this center. He's such a genuine, authentic, brilliant being. And I am grateful for what he's doing for you and for inviting me in to be a part of your community. So thank you, Rev Fred. And so without further ado, we are going to complete our service today with a song by Pierre. So thank you, Pierre.
My pleasure. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one of the same small planets we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. Of the same small planet we are born, and there's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Some say that I'm out of touch with the times, that this world is no place for a vision like mine. But still, I believe it, still I believe it. There's too many lives on the line. There's so many lives on the line. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I.
Thank you, Pierre. What a wonderful way to end on oneness and love and connection. Thank you. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We will be back next week. We love you. We appreciate you. You matter in this world. So please know how very loved